días.
Les habla Ramiro Salazar. Good morning, I'm Ramiro Salazar. I'm co-chair of the Reforma National Conference, the our fourth. It is a wonderful day today. We're celebrating many things today. 16 de septiembre, for one. So, Heritage Month, so this is an opportunity to celebrate our heritage and many contributions that we have made throughout different fields in politics and education and so on, so we can celebrate that. But today we celebrate our 40th anniversary with this conference, and it's my honor to be here to see all the beautiful reformistas and those that are supporters of reformistas that are here, our special guests, to start the celebration of Reforma. 40 years, a wonderful milestone. I would like to introduce and acknowledge my partner in crime, if I may, Orlando Quebec. Where are you, Orlando? I have to tell you all, Orlando is not only a beautiful soul, I got to know him personally. He's extremely committed to Reforma. I know he's been carrying a lot of responsibility, but he has played an extremely important role in making this conference successful and putting it together. Not only did he co-chair with me and started the planning process, but he also took on the responsibility of the programs for this conference. And also being here in Denver, he assumed added responsibility to making sure that everything would come together. In fact, I tried to invite him to the podium, and he's too worried about all the other details. He said, no, that he has in case something happens. So, but I do want to acknowledge Lando for his work, and if you can join me in the what makes this conference special? What makes it special is that we bring together reformistas, and what's special about this one is that we're celebrating 40 years of service. That's a major, major milestone, and we should all be very proud of it, and we should all congratulate each other for the many contributions and successes that Reforma has achieved throughout the years. Today we also salute, and as part of the conference, we salute all those leaders that played an important role in the development of Reforma. All the former presidents, all those individuals that served on committees, that led committees, all the work that was done to create and grow this organization to have an impact in the library profession as we strive to better serve our Latino communities. So it's a great accomplishment, and again, we should all be very proud. And I hope that this conference will also inspire our emerging leaders, that hearing the stories of those that have set the path, those trailblazers, those leaders, to create this wonderful organization, that you get inspired, that you will be inspired by their work, and that you will help us lead the work forward towards the future. I get excited when I go to meetings and even casual meetings when I meet younger reformistas, those emerging leaders with the bright eyes, with their eagerness and optimism and passion for library service. I get so excited. I have so much hope for Reforma because those individuals will be carrying Reforma forward. And some of those that have been working with Reforma for many years, you know, we kind of getting towards our twilight years. Not that we're going away. Not that we're going away. But we will be there to lend a helping hand. So it's a challenge actually to, again, our new reformistas, our young reformistas, our emerging leaders. This is a wonderful opportunity to make a difference in our Latino communities, in those services that we deliver that are so important to empower our communities to make better lives for themselves. So again, it's a wonderful way to start the era. I also want to, before I continue with the program, I must take a moment to recognize all those individuals who played an important role in making this conference a success that it's going to be. Putting together this kind of conference requires the work of many, so it's a collective effort. And it's a great undertaking, a tremendous undertaking. So I want to start again. Again, I should acknowledge Lando. I just can't thank him enough. So Lando, thank you again. And probably the smartest decision Lando and I made as part of this conference, as part of leading and co-chairing this conference, was bringing Sandra Rios Valderrama on board. Looked at different options of how could we get additional support to put all the moving parts together. And I mentioned to Lando, said we need someone that will serve as the glue, that will bring us together. When I talked to Sandra about it, and I use that word, the glue, for lack of a better term, and Sandra has served that as the catalyst, as the glue, as putting this together, coordinating all the moving parts. And so I congratulate you, Sandra. I publicly salute you. Thank you so much for your work. I want to recognize and acknowledge all those committee chairs and members of the committees. And please take a moment and look on page 24 of your program, and so that you can acknowledge all those members of the committees and chairs of the committees that played an important role in putting this conference together. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge Local Arrangements Committee and the chair of the Local Arrangements, Ruby Nugent. Ruby, are you here? A lot of responsibility being chair of the Local Arrangements and volunteer, so I want to salute you and congratulate you. Another very important person, Rita Pugh. I hope I didn't mispronounce your name. Chair, and I was so impressed with her leadership and just taking the ball and running with it. And so I want to thank you for your contribution and for putting the venue together and for all your work. So thank you, Rita. And last but not least, I want to thank all our volunteers and all of our sponsors that contributed and supported this conference. Last thing before I introduce our next member of the program is I'd like to recognize and acknowledge two special guests. I'll start with Susan Hildreth, who is Director of IMLS, Institute of Museum and Library Services. I also want to recognize Oscar Saavedra, who is the president of AMLA. It's the equivalent of ALA. Thank you all for coming from all parts of the country, the west, the east, the south, all over. Thank you for being here. At this time, I'd like to invite our president, Reforma President, Maria Kramer. Maria.
Buenos días.
Estimados reformistas y bienvenidos a Denver. Y feliz Día de la Independencia a todos los mexicanos. I'm so excited to be here to open Reforma's fourth national conference, elevating Latino services to a higher level, juntos en the Mile High City. First and foremost, I would like to thank the organizers and everyone that made this wonderful event possible. Most of all, I would like to thank all of you here today for attending and celebrating 40 years of Reforma. It is people like you that make Reforma not only relevant, but also a crucial element in the Latino society. You are people that are passionate about the literacy and education of our Latino communities all over the United States. Reforma was begun in 1971 by about a dozen librarians, led by the renowned Dr. Anulfo Trejo. In 1972, the distinguished Elizabeth Martinez, here with us, accomplished the development of the Institute at Cal State Fullerton, the Mexican-American Library Training. We owe a great deal to these trailblazers who 40 years ago had the courage, ambition, and passion to start an organization that would inspire us all and for which we are all standing here today. And today, there are over 300 of us from all over the country here to celebrate our rich heritage and many accomplishments. Reforma was created by passionate people like you that had the privilege of higher education and the wish to see all Spanish-speaking Americans follow in our footsteps. This year's conference proceeds in the knowledge that Latinos are now more than 16% of the U.S. population, surpassing all minority groups. We reformistas need to influence our nation's libraries to embrace and increase library services to those 50.5 million people called Latinos. I would like to take this moment to recognize the work of the 19 Reforma chapters that we are active nationwide. You all have done so much for the organization through your hard work and grassroots connection. With 19 chapters represented here today, please stand up if you belong to a chapter.
Everybody.
We have achieved so much and look to achieve so much more. I want to promote volunteerism from you all here today. Les invito a que trabajemos juntos. Together we are stronger. We need people to volunteer for offices, for activating inactive chapters, for making this organization stronger than ever. Because it is librarians, students, library workers like you that are the very foundation of our cause. But I don't see just volunteers here. I see future leaders in the Latino community. Finally, I would like to wish you all a successful conference. I believe we will be re-energized by this conference and we will be ready to take Reforma in the next 40 years.